Hey there, fight fans. Welcome to the UFC 239. Jones versus Santos and Nunes versus the Preacher's daughter, Holly Holm. Live play-by-play result stream brought to you by SB Nation MMA, which includes BloodyElbow.com and MMAmania.com, the only two websites in the entire world you'll ever need to visit if you're looking to find out what's happening in mixed martial arts. My name's Flying Brian J. Thank you so very much for joining me. What my goal for this video is, it's to make sure that you're informed on everything that's happening behind the double paywall for this event, behind ESPN Plus, in order to get access to then purchase the $60 pay-per-view. I want to let you know if Diego Sanchez somehow defeats Michael Chiesa as a heavy underdog. We're going to see how Luke Rockhold fares that light heavyweight, moves up, and he fights Jan Blachowicz in his 205-pound UFC debut. After that, we've got a really interesting fight, kind of a grudge match, at least one-sided. Welterweight bout, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal versus Funky Ben Askren. Then, of course, the co-main event, co-headliners, first of which is a women's bantamweight title fight between Amanda, the Lioness, the champion Nunes, and former champion Holly Holm. What's interesting there is these are the two women that have knocked out Rowdy Ronda Rousey. And then, of course, the main event of the evening, widely regarded as the GOAT, the greatest of all time mixed martial artist, Jon Bones Jones. Regardless of what you think about his PED history or his T-boning pregnant women with his car, leaving the scene, his DUI issues, that man is the greatest fighter we've ever seen inside of the octagon, and he will take on challenger, former middleweight Thiago Marreta, the Sledgehammer Santos. Check the comment section. Big E McFarland, my homie's here. Seth Schermerhorn, what you doing? It's 10. Right, man, that's what I'm here for. Thank you for being here, Big E. And Liam Awesome Man 1 says, hello. You know how I tell you guys that ESPN Plus on my Google Chrome often pauses and stops, and I have to restart it, and then I'll miss like 5 seconds of the fight or whatever. You know what I did just a few minutes ago? I decided to do a internet speed test, and found out I was getting like 1 or 2 megabytes download speed. Huh? So I switched my DNS from the Google public DNS server to the automatically assigned one for the time being before I find something else, and I got it to be satisfactory rates, even higher than what my cable provider or my internet provider said I'm supposed to be getting for upload speed. So we should be set on this card. It actually, as I'm watching right now, oh, there we go. It should be good right now. Yeah, so I was just thinking about this before we went live. I am your play-by-play commentator, Flying Brian J. I'm here every single week. And in the live chat, we've got June, who is the moderator, but also kind of our color commentator. She's going to be providing us information like if a fighter recently switched camps, or if they had something interesting going on in their life before the fight night happened. You know, if they had a family member suffering through something, they're thinking about retirement. Those are the little things that we're going to want to know as we go through this card, because June listens to fighter interviews that happened on the Bloody Elbow Presents and also SB Nation MMA YouTube channel. So she's there to moderate, to make sure that you're not asking for or given illegal links, and also to provide us with some color commentary that she'll type and then I'll verbalize for you, because you can always listen to the SB Nation MMA live videos on the Bloody Elbow Presents podcast feed. Just search for SB Nation MMA. Just search for Bloody Elbow Presents, and you'll probably find the same exact title what we got going on here. Edgar RH, hey man, I appreciate you stopping by, but it's okay if you don't like what we got going on here. Travis Rothwell, please, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to be doing the live play-by-play for the first fight on the main card portion, which is Diego the Nightmare, the Dream Sanchez versus Michael Maverick Chiesa. If you like that, you stick around, perhaps you give the video a thumbs up. If you don't, you give it a thumbs down, you say something mean about me in the comment section, and then you can bust on out of here. What up, Ton Giglio? Or Giglio? Yeah, what up, buddy? Oh, Travis Rothel. My bad, buddy. I apologize. All right, Leon Hunter, cool beans. Raul S. Rob Amon, what up, my dude? Rob is always here. I can always cut some chatters if they are misbehaving. So Rob's here, has been here for probably a year of me doing these videos. And what he's talking about with cutting somebody is in the post-fight show, he's always like, I'm here with the chopping block, cutting fighters who are on losing streaks or have been knocked out too many times, should retire, and stuff like that. So Rob's a staple of the show. So's Tom, so's Biggie McFarlane. What's up, Cliff Garrett? Nikki Vasquez. Michael Wall. Jeremy McMullen. Slap. I don't know if I can read that out loud. Let me show you what we're going to be doing for most of the time. Ooh, dropped frame rates detected 16%. So maybe my internet isn't doing as well as I said. Anywho, this is what we're going to be looking at most of the time. Boom. So here's the stream. Over there, I'm going to score every round so that, I don't know, we can kind of keep track of who we think's winning the fight. For the 3-round fights, it'll look like that. For the 5-rounders, it'll look like perhaps this. Could also just look like that. Down here, we've got the fight clock, which is brought to you by Thunderhead Brewing out of Kearney, Nebraska. It'll look like this. And it'll keep you informed on what time I'm at in the fight. Because we're going to have the stats in this middle portion. Something like this. They'll be going on live. And so that you know where I am in the fight, you can see that down there. And then the stats that go along with it. The stats are going to be about 30 to 45 seconds above the time clock down there. So that's going to be important. Siri's trying to talk to me. Shut up, Siri, you dumb gal. Okay, so right now what's happening on the stream is Joe Rogan, John Anik, and Paul Felder, who Paul Felder is by and large, or not by and large, he's easily the tallest guy in that lineup, which is funny because he's a 155-pound competitor. Anywho, they are going over some advertisements right now, talking about hyping up this fight card, getting you ready for the welterweight fight that is Masvidal versus Funky Ben Askren, Diego Sanchez versus Michael the Maverick Chiesa. So they're going to be talking about those fights for a while. In the meantime, let's check out the tail of the tape for our first fight of the night on the main card. Diego the Nightmare the Dream Sanchez, who is 31-11 against Michael Chiesa, who was 15-4. Maverick is 3 inches taller at 6'1". He has a 3.5-inch reach advantage at 75.5 inches, and he has a 3-inch reach advantage with his legs. Chiesa has no wins in the UFC by KO or TKO, but he has 73% coming by way of submission. Thank you so much for subscribing, Jeremy McMullen and Humberto Bengas. Appreciate it so very much. One of the things that I like to go over during the fight card is the betting odds. So let's go over the betting odds for Diego Sanchez versus Michael Chiesa. Chiesa is a -365 favorite. The comeback on Diego Sanchez is +328. If you don't know what those numbers mean, I'm going to try to briefly explain it. Thank you so much for subscribing, Mully Benz. So if a fighter is -365, it would take $365 bet on them to profit $100. So you give them $365, he wins, they give you back $465 for a profit of $100. But on Diego, he's +328. If you give them $100 and you win, they will give you back $428, so you won $328. It's kind of like Diego is a 3-1 underdog and Chiesa is close to a 4-1 favorite. R. Gordon, thanks for being here, my friend. My screen doesn't show what? Oh. Sorry. Stop the clock. Boop. Thank you for subscribing. DS Man 06, Theodis Kearns Jr., Sam B. Cowley. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, my dudes. As you can see above me here, I'm trying to get to 80,000 subscribers by the end of this month. With your help, we might be able to get there. I feel like it's unlikely, but we might be able to. Okay. Still nothing. So in the bottom right of your screen, down way over there, you can see the fights that we're going to have. The first one is Diego Sanchez versus Michael Chiesa. So that says up now. As soon as the result is there, I will change that to the result and put up now as Luke Rockhold versus Jan Blachowicz. Because this is on a pay-per-view portion, we're not scheduled for 30-minute intervals. If it was on TV, each fight is scheduled for a 30-minute interval, but you could still kind of expect that each fight is going to take about a half an hour. So the first one here should be starting any minute, let's hope. Let's assume it gets over, it's 9:12 my time, 9:13 my time right now. Let's assume it gets over at 9:45. So that means the next fight start around 9:45, get over at 10:15. So that's Luke Rockhold getting over at 10:15. Masvidal getting over at 10:45. Nunes versus Holm getting over at like 11:20. And Jones versus Thiago Santos starting around 11:30. So I'm guessing in about 2 hours is when Jones is going to fight Thiago Santos. It all depends on how quickly we have some finishes, if the fights go to a decision, yada yada, so on and so forth. But for those of you who are wondering, where's the main event? What is Jon Jones fighting yet? Is Amanda Nunes fighting yet? No. They will be competing in probably, well, Jones versus Santos probably about 2 hours, and I would guess Nunes versus Holm about an hour and a half. I don't know that, though. It's all guessing. Thank you for subscribing, Mark Wallace. Boris Brett, 128. Eric Druding. William Flanjack, Robbie. Gabbana, 2920. Anonymous. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it a ton. I saw somebody... David Wilkinson, thank you. He said, I'm always a fan of your MMA broadcast. I appreciate that a lot. Michael Ratcliffe, David Rude, Iron Will, Mark Wallace. I might have said Mark already. Either way, thank you so much for subscribing. I think we're about to have somebody make their way to the octagon. And yes, Michael Maverick Chiesa, fighting out of Spokane, Washington, born in Aurora, Colorado, fighting out of Sick Jitsu with his coach Rick Little, is making his way to the cage. So let's talk about breaking down this fight just a little bit. Diego Sanchez, I think it's quite clear that he's a Looney Tune. He left Jackson Winklejohn to go train with a guy who has never been an MMA coach before, and he's only going to have this one guy in his corner for this fight. It's similar to like, think about when Conor McGregor had Ido Portal training him movement. And then, like, everyone's like, that is some weird stuff. Conor McGregor's doing some weird things in preparation for this rematch with Nate Diaz, right? Messing around, playing touch belt with that dork in the park. Well, Diego Sanchez is doing that, but that's his only coach. What? Super strange stuff. Anyway, both guys are really good grapplers, but and both guys have fought at lightweight. Sanchez, of course, has fought from 185 to 145 in the UFC. Most recently, I think he's been at welterweight. So this fight is taking place at 170. Michael Chiesa had trouble a lot of times making the 155-pound limit. He kind of saw that there was a roadblock for him there. So, and there have been a trend of people moving up and having a lot of success by moving up a weight class. He got finished by Anthony Showtime Pettis, of course, but I think he's going to be the bigger fighter here. Quite clearly, as you saw from the tail of the tape, he's taller, but I think he's going to be evidently the bigger fighter. Now, Diego Sanchez making his way to the cage. He's just running behind that coach, that single coach I mentioned. Weird. He ran to the Flying Brian J, SB Nation MMA, BloodyElbow.com prep point with his hands on his coach's shoulders. strange. Very strange. But Diego Sanchez is now embracing his single coach. He's getting Vaseline put on his forehead. He looks mean mugging like he always does. Diego Sanchez is the 2019 Hall of Fame inductee for the fight wing against Clay Guida. He's got tied for the third most fights in UFC history at 30. He was the TUF 1 middleweight winner. The Ultimate Fighter Season 1, way back in like 2005 or something like that. It was the season that got me into mixed martial arts because Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner, that was such a fun fight, and Forrest Griffin was a fun guy to watch. Sam Fisher, at this point, Diego needs any type of change. Can't hurt his record anymore. I suppose that's true. I think he's probably going to go right there. Okay, we're going over the tail of the tape, which is brought to you by Thunderhead Brewing out of Kearney, Nebraska. Namely, the Crop Duster. For this specific event, Crop Duster has been dusting pallets with a delicious aroma and flavor of Cascade hops for a really long time, similar to how long Jon Bones Jones has been dusting his opponents. Thank you for subscribing. I missed a bunch of you. Robbie Thomas, Xavier Russell, John Hecker, Abhishek Singh, I'm so sorry I butchered that name, Andres Macias, and Kai Lee. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's got a professional record of 15 wins, 4 losses. He stands 6 foot 1 inches tall, fighting out of Spokane Valley, Washington. He is a minus 350 favorite. Michael the Maverick Chiesa. And now introducing his opponent. Fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 31 wins, 11 losses. He stands 5 foot 10 inches tall, weighing in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, a plus 275 underdog, Diego, the Crazy Man, the Nightmare, the Dream, Sanchez. Thank you for subscribing. Kafiz Kusanov and Red Hood Gaming 12. Referee in charge, Mark Smith. Okay, here we go. Come on. Fight's on. Here we go. Okay, we've got Michael Chiesa, southpaw. He's wearing green board shorts. We got Diego Sanchez wearing the black Valley Tudo shorts in the orthodox stance. He shoots in on a takedown immediately. And Chiesa is using his arms wrapped around the upper back of Diego Sanchez to defend the takedown. It's not in a front headlock position. He just had his locked around the torso. Now, Michael Chiesa goes for the back. He's got the arm. Michael Chiesa is about to snag up this armbar finish. Nope. Diego's like, he's out of danger of the armbar. Michael might look to turn it into a triangle choke off his back now. No, not that either. Diego Sanchez is in the full guard of Michael Chiesa on the canvas. Diego's trying to drive Chiesa back to his feet now. He's got his butt up against the fence. He's got his left hip against the fence. Ooh, a judo toss from Michael Chiesa puts Diego on the canvas for a brief second. Diego back to his feet. Now he's got his right hip on the fence. And Michael Chiesa is teeing off with strikes. He goes for a knee to the body, a couple of winging punches in tight. None of it really lands with any mustard behind it, but now he's pressing Diego Sanchez up against the fence. Diego now has his left hip up against the fence, and they're trading knees to the thigh. Ooh, Diego Sanchez reverses position. He's now pressing Michael Chiesa up against the fence. He has double underhooks, and he's using his forehead on the jaw of Chiesa to keep Chiesa's posture up high. Ooh. Now Chiesa digging a right, pummeling for a right underhook. He gets it. He's got... Diego went down for a double leg attempt, didn't get that. Now Chiesa with the right underhook and left over. He goes for an outside trip takedown. He gets the fight to the canvas. He's trying to take Diego Sanchez's back, but one of the hooks that he's trying to put in to go for like a rear naked choke position, the back mount, is over the shoulder of Diego Sanchez. He adjusts, and now he has the body lock. He has the figure 4 body lock on Diego Sanchez. The left one is the one that's perpendicular. He's got the right leg over the top of it. Diego Sanchez is scrambling, trying to buck Chiesa off. Chiesa now has Diego in the referee's position on his hands and knees. Diego Sanchez stands up with his legs for a second. He's got his feet on the ground and his hands on the ground, and he picks his butt and high up in the air to try to buck Chiesa off the top. But now Chiesa is locking in this rear naked choke. Ooh, Sanchez got out of that position. Chiesa landing some short shots from the back mounted position. Ooh, some short elbows on the side of the head of Diego Sanchez. Ooh, Sanchez was trying to elbow his thigh, and he's whapping some elbows on the side of Diego Sanchez's head. Diego was forced to give up from his offensive game in that situation to defend the elbows from Chiesa. And now Chiesa has the fight on the canvas. They are both on their left hip on the opposite side of the figure 4 body triangle from Chiesa. Oh, and Diego Sanchez rolls over to his belly in the all-4 position and just scoots right out the back. And now both fighters are standing, and Diego Sanchez has his hands clasped around the waist of Michael Chiesa, and he's going for a double leg takedown. He gets it, but Michael Chiesa is going for a switch on the right side. He gets a underhook on the leg of Sanchez and flips him over, and now Michael Chiesa is on top again on Diego Sanchez. Chiesa has he's trying to go knee on belly with his right knee, and his left knee was way out. His left leg was out wide. Same thing now. Chiesa's trying to stack Diego Sanchez and just rain down a little bit of ground and pound. Chiesa, Sanchez went for a butterfly guard lift, and he got his feet on the hips of Chiesa and pushed him off. Didn't get him fully away from him, and Chiesa falls back down into the guard. Sanchez does have his feet on the hips of Chiesa right now, but Chiesa is fully on top position in the full guard of Diego Sanchez, and he goes for a couple of ground and pound strikes, really stacking Diego Sanchez now. Sanchez trying to scramble out of there, doesn't get it. Chiesa takes the back. Sanchez back to one knee, and he's back to his feet, and that'll be how the round ends. Okay, easy round to score. That one goes for Michael the Maverick Chiesa. So that one guy is in Diego Sanchez's corner, and we're listening on the live broadcast to Chiesa's corner, but I want to listen to Diego Sanchez's corner, so please switch me. So we're listening to Diego's corner man, and he's just saying, he's just saying in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're all good, man. Keep breathing. We're all good, man. In through the nose, not through the mouth. Yeah, 10-9 for Chiesa, Joe Fresh. Oh. Round dose. Here we goes. Fight's on. Here we go. They meet on Sanchez's side of the octagon. Chiesa immediately goes for a double leg takedown. He just goes down for the legs, gets his hands behind the butt, and kind of pushes Diego over. Follows him to the canvas and now is stacking Diego Sanchez. Sanchez is trying to kick him off. Sanchez is trying to reverse position. Chiesa was able to hold on to like what you would think of the rear naked choke with like the arm underneath the chin as Diego tried to like throw him off from the guard position. And Chiesa used that rear naked choke kind of grip to keep himself on top of Diego Sanchez. And now Chiesa is in the referee position on Diego Sanchez and peppering him with short shots in tight in that referee's position. Sanchez finds his way to the cage and is trying to survive here. Referee's position, and Chiesa is raining down these short right hands. Now Diego Sanchez gets back to his feet. He's got his back right on top of the Thunderhead Brewing out of Kearney, Nebraska logo. Diego goes to separate and he lands a left elbow, but Chiesa firing away with shots in tight. He gets him with a 1-2 uppercut. Probably could just stay at a distance and just destroy Diego Sanchez up against the fence at range with the range striking or striking at all on the feet. But instead, Chiesa again follows Sanchez to the canvas. Haha, 2:30. Exactly the time you should go to the dentist, Levi. Right now, we've got Michael Chiesa raining down some right hands and some right elbows on a stacked up in full guard position Diego Sanchez. Sanchez basically in full guard, but Sanchez had his right leg over the shoulder of Chiesa, and now Chiesa just he was sitting on Diego Sanchez's face for a second, hitting him with some ground and pound strikes. He circles counterclockwise and is now... We're in a weird position here where Diego's off on his back, kind of turtled up, but on his back, and he's going for a knee bar position against Chiesa. Try to reverse it. Chiesa off of his back. No, Sanchez off of his back now, reaching for this knee bar. He's kind of got the knee bar. Oh, Chiesa circles clockwise in order to defend that knee bar, and now he's got his. It brought him right to have his left leg in kind of like the figure four position for the rear naked choke, but his right leg was still kind of entangled in Diego Sanchez's legs. Now he's got both hooks in on Diego Sanchez and like flattened Diego Sanchez out in his right hand, left hand, right elbow, left, right. Michael Chiesa is about to get his first TKO victory in the UFC, isn't he? Now Chiesa going for the rear naked choke, but he's on top of the mouth of Sanchez. Sanchez easily lifts that off of his face. Diego is able to scramble his way out. He got an underhook on one of the legs that was hooking in Michael Chiesa for the back mount position. Slips his way out. We're on the feet now. Diego Sanchez has his hands clasped around the waist of Michael Chiesa. Oh, he goes for a foot stomp. Old school. Yeah. Diego. The crowd's chanting for Diego. Diego. Now, Chiesa was defending a single leg attempt from Diego Sanchez, and he somehow reaches around to get a underhook on the far side of Diego Sanchez and like spins it around and ends up on top position on the canvas. He's in a back mount, but he's on top position. Ooh, some of those like Travis Brown kind of elbows from a stacking position, an awkward position on the canvas. Chiesa was going for a Kimura grip. Sanchez goes from his back to his belly to try to defend it now. We don't have a great look at what's happening here. You can hear Rick Little trying to give instruction to Michael Chiesa. They're saying for Chiesa to just keep his grip 2-on-1 on this arm because there's only 10 seconds left. Just keep it. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe 10-8 for Michael Chiesa there. Yikes. But my scoring system, all I can do is just say who won the round. I should have added the ability to do a 10-8 or whatnot. But and that was a 10-8. So we got it 20-17 in favor of Michael Chiesa. Thank you so much, Levi Frome. Appreciate it, man. Hey, I'm honored. Thank you so much. Diego's cornerman says, no more playing. You have to go 100%. That's it. That's it. Great freaking corner advice, man. Diego Sanchez came from like one of the best camps in mixed martial arts, Jackson Winklejohn, to this jabroni who's just saying, come on, man, we got to go. That's it. No stuff, buddy. All right, here we go. Round number trace. Diego Sanchez goes for an uppercut to like the body, gets in tight on Chiesa. Chiesa picks up his left leg, scoots him back to the fence. Diego Sanchez has really good balance. So he balanced himself on his right leg, back to the fence, and then Chiesa puts him on the canvas. Chiesa in a front headlock position is moving his way to the back. Diego has that. Yeah, now Chiesa has like a back-mounted crucifix, but they are kind of in like a little humple against the fence here. Not a lot could be done. Chiesa's trying to pull the left arm of Diego Sanchez behind his back. Thank you for subscribing, Steven, Calvin Smith, Jay Spears, Mark Ryan, Jesse Christian, or Christina, Lily Ryder. Oh. Michael Chiesa had that Kimura. He was going 2-on-1. He let go of one of those two. Had only one of them on it. Kind of fell off. Was only holding on to the one and still ended up on top for a brief second. But Diego Sanchez stands back to his feet, and now he's pressing Michael Chiesa up against the fence. Goes with a foot stomp. Sanchez has the right underhook. Lets go of it. Goes with a short uppercut on Chiesa. Chiesa is not affected by it. A lead hand hook to a right uppercut for Chiesa. Gets him right back into the clinch position. Goes for a takedown on Sanchez. Gets the takedown. He's transitioning into half guard. Gee, thank you so much, Matt Wing. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing, Melanie, Felony Melanie, Benjamin Francis, Antonio Torres, Emo Tears. Thank you so much, everybody. So I've been telling you what's happening in the fight. Play by play, what's going on. Let me tell you the vibe that I'm feeling. If Michael Chiesa would stop getting in on these clinches and stop trying to grapple with Diego Sanchez. We saw Diego Sanchez do some amazing grappling against Marcin Held, who Marcin Held's a high-level submission guy, right? We saw Diego Sanchez out-grapple his last opponent, Mickey Gall. I know Mickey Gall's not as experienced as Michael Chiesa, but anyway, Diego Sanchez, really good grappler. Hung in there with some young talents, but he has not had a very good chin lately. I know that Michael Chiesa is not known for his knockout ability, but I think that if he just let Diego Sanchez turtle up on the fence with his guard, Diego Sanchez will just hold his guard up like this and then eat punches with his face and yell back at him. If Chiesa were just use his long limbs of his to strike at this range, he could have finished Diego Sanchez a long time ago. But instead, he's insistent on having this BJJ scramble contest with Diego Sanchez. Of course, it's better for the brain damage of Diego Sanchez. He's taken a lot of punches in his career, so it's less damaging for him, but it's just he could have won the fight minutes ago, but whatever. Scott Mack, that's what I was thinking. Scott Mack says maybe Chiesa doesn't want to finish him that way out of respect. Perhaps. And that's what I hope. I hope he says something similar to, you know what? No, I don't think that's it. I like the thought, Scott, and I agree. That's what I was thinking as well. But Michael Chiesa has landed some really hammering elbows to the side of Diego's head, and just when I said, he was hitting him with some pretty hard right hands on the ground. Right now, what we're seeing is, changed up a little bit. Excuse me. Joe Rogan and Paul Felder are saying that they think every round has been a 10-8 for Chiesa. Now, Chiesa has the body triangle, back-mounted body triangle on Diego Sanchez. He's trying to fish his left arm underneath the chin of Sanchez, but Sanchez is defending pretty well. He's got it now. What's happening, Jeremy? Okay, so we're looking at a 30-24, perhaps, in favor of Michael Chiesa. I'm not gonna put the third Chiesa up there on the scorecard. I think it's pretty obvious, right? So I'll update the results. Yeah. Yep. They just showed like a highlight of Michael Chiesa just piecing him up on the feet, right, and then just goes right in on the takedown. And to the point where he didn't want to hurt him or didn't want to finish him out of respect. Some of his hammer fists at the end in the highlights were pretty huge, pretty substantial, and probably brain rattling a little bit on Diego Sanchez. So, anywho, 125 total strikes to 42. What a lopsided contest. The official decision is brought to you by Thunderhead Brewing out of Kearney, Nebraska, as well as SB Nation MMA, which includes BloodyElbow.com and MMAmania.com, the only two websites you'll ever need to visit if you're looking to find out what's happening in mixed martial arts. All three judges score 30-26. Michael Chiesa. Woof, what a beatdown. Maybe not a beatdown's the wrong word. What a domination. That's what I should say. Beatdown implies like a lot of physical violence, physical damage. Oh, thanks, Jeremy. I thought you were saying my... Thanks, man. Michael Chiesa says that Diego Sanchez took him into some deep waters. He's very tough. Chiesa just said that he used to fight with a lot of stupidity. He's fighting smarter now, and he wants a top 10 next. I don't think he fought that smart in there. I really don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Chiesa says, and I don't know if this is true, someone should fact check this. Chiesa says every time he's won a decision in the UFC, he's got at least one 10-8 round. If that's true, fascinating. Fascinating. Thank you, Steven. Dark Star Rising, thank you for subscribing. AJ's Hoden, Roy Boy, Rob Fleming, 116ism, Jason Erickson, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it wholeheartedly. More than I can express with like that kind of that. I feel like the inflection in my voice wasn't enough, but I'm truly appreciative for you for subscribing. Okay, next up. Next up. Thank goodness. Next up is Cool Hand Luke Rockhold versus Jan Blachowicz. Thank you for subscribing. Randall Lopez, Ricardo Samos, and Reversed Disconnect. Or Reverse Disconnect. FB, BD, GD. I'm going to call you FB. says, I hope Luke gets knocked out. Scott Max says, minus 375 seemed like a gift. Should have been minus 750. It was a minus 750 type of performance, wasn't it? Unemployed Mario Yamasaki says, we're spoiled with great fights from here on out. I got to agree. Let me thank you, James Parton, and Broden Ellerton. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Let's go over the tail of the tape for this next bout. And I like talking about the odds. And we can talk a little bit about, excuse me, the stylistic matchup. So I know that you're, like some of you probably watching on a mobile device, a phone, a tablet, or whatever. So this middle thing's kind of small. That's one reason I want to read it to you. Tail of the tape. Jan Blachowicz is 23-8. Rockhold is 16-4. Rockhold is 1 inch taller at 6'3". He's got a 1 inch reach disadvantage to Blachowicz, though. Blachowicz has a 78-inch reach with the arms, but a 1 inch reach advantage is on side of the very handsome Luke Rockhold at 45 inches. Thank you for subscribing, James West, Sir Gold, and Jamie Ewing. Rockhold, 38% of his UFC wins are via KO or TKO, 50 by sub, and 13 by decision. Blachowicz is 22 KO or TKO, 39 submission, and 39 for decision. Average fight time is way shorter for the former middleweight champion Luke Rockhold at 7 minutes and 2 seconds. Luke Rockhold, let me pull up a different screen here. Luke Rockhold never lost via decision, has only gone to a decision on 2 occasions. One was against Jacare Souza way back in 2011, and the other was against Tim Kennedy way back in 2012. Since that time, has not gone to the judges. Most recently, he got knocked out by Yoel Romero, February of 2018. Before that, he TKO'd David Branch, and before that, at UFC 199, he got knocked out by Michael Bisping. So only 3 fights in the last 3 years for the very handsome Luke Rockhold. Thank you for subscribing. A person, the Fire Blaster, Brian Armstrong, and then some, I don't want to seem ignorant. I don't know what language those symbols are. Keith Harden, thank you so much. Let's see, Big E McFarland. Big E says, I should add my own specific scoring system. Like I said, prediction, Blachowicz knocks out Luke Rockhold in round 1. Well, thank you for being here, Joshua Broussard. Thank you for subscribing. Andre Pessoa de... I didn't see the rest of it. I didn't catch it. I'm so sorry. But let's talk about... Actually, who are you guys picking to win between Jan Blachowicz and Cool Hand Luke Rockhold? I don't think that's his actual nickname. And I keep wanting to say Sanders when I say Cool Hand Luke. So I'm just going to call him the very handsome Luke Rockhold. The odds have Rockhold as a minus 240 favorite. The comeback on Blachowicz is plus 220. Again, that means minus 240 is it takes $240 to win 100. Or on Blachowicz, you give 100, you win 220. Thank you for subscribing, Elijah Blade and Richard Henry. Both guys in this fight are really good with kicks. You'll remember, well, in the first fight against Michael Bisping, it was a high kick on Bisping's like kind of blind side from Rockhold that started the beginning of the end. It put Bisping down, and then he got the one-arm guillotine choke. And Blachowicz had that left power body kick TKO finish over Ilir Latifi in his UFC debut. Also, as you can see by the wins by in the middle there, Blachowicz is pretty good with his submission game, but it's mostly just power. Like when he finished Devin Clark with a standing bulldog choke in October of 2017, that was like kind of a less technique than it was more like opportunistic, snagging up a neck, and then just raw power to squeeze it from that awkward position. Blachowicz is coming off of a TKO loss to the #1 contender in tonight's main event, Thiago Marreta Santos. I mean, look at this stat. Well, so Gustafsson and Patrick Cummins both wrestled Blachowicz, and I picked Blachowicz to lose to Devin Clark because of that wrestling. Now, Luke Rockhold isn't known for his takedown ability, but he did take down and just destroy Chris Weidman on the mat. Luke Rockhold has really good jiu-jitsu, as he has shown in his inverted triangle choke over the Barbarian Tim Boetsch, as he showed in his ability to get David Branch to the ground and TKO him there. His rear naked choke of Lyoto, the Dragon Machida, that, like I said, that single arm guillotine choke over Michael Bisping way back in 2014. It's just that Luke Rockhold on the feet, he tends to, I gotta close that stream. Luke Rockhold tends to just kind of lean away with his he's got his lead right hook. He loves throwing his lead right hook and then just kind of leaning away from it, I believe. And he kind of hangs his chin up there. He has seemed a little bit chinny, like he was losing some durability at middleweight. He really strained himself to get down to 185 pounds or 186 pounds. He should be a little bit more durable at light heavyweight, 205 pounds. I think that he's the more well-rounded mixed martial artist, and if we can trust his chin at 205 pounds, I think that he's going to get the better of Blachowicz, and I picked him via submission. Now, Luke Rockhold is inside of the octagon. He is wearing blue short board shorts and fighting out of the blue corner. Looking pretty, you know what, he's looking pretty handsome. Ooh, Jan Blachowicz is walking out to, there is a house in Sin City. They call House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. Shout out to the L Basement. I could figure out something. I should figure out a poll for the live stream. Michael Wall. Yeah, that's a good idea, guys. I should figure out a poll for the live stream. Jeremy S. I don't know how else to describe them. They're like, they're like the size of boxers. Dude's wearing like boxers, but the material of board shorts. Sorry, Scott Schnell. All right, Jan Blachowicz is in the Flying Brian J. SB Nation MMA prep point. He has the highest takedown accuracy among UFC light heavyweights at 52%. 6 first-round finishes, 5 wins by knockout, and 9 via submission. He's getting his nails checked to make sure they're not too long, and he doesn't have any weapons on him, and he is making his way into the octagon. He is wearing red Vale Tudo shorts, or I'm just trying to be descriptive here. They are like kind of boxer briefs. Short boxer briefs. Not short, they're just boxer briefs. Yep. All right, tail of the tape. Blachowicz is 2 years older at 36, and he weighed in 1 pound heavier at 205.5 pounds. If Mike Goldberg was here, he would say everything else is virtually identical. Bruce Buffer has the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 16 wins, 4 losses. Fighting out of Santa Cruz, California, standing 6 foot 3 inches tall, weighing in at 204.5 pounds. He is the former UFC middleweight champion of the world and a minus 240 favorite, the handsome Luke Rockhold. There's another handsome for you. I didn't mute you. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 23 wins, 8 losses. Fighting out of Warsaw, Poland, standing 6 foot 2 inches tall, weighing in at 205 1/2 pounds. He is a plus 200 underdog, Jon Blachowicz. Tweet to the first. Okay, here we go. Round number 1. They meet in the center of the octagon. They don't touch gloves. A left round high kick fired off twice now by Luke Rockhold. Another left high kick fired off by Luke Rockhold. He doesn't land any of them except for on the guard of Blachowicz. Blachowicz fighting out of the orthodox stance. Ooh, another left high kick and then a left straight behind it lands for Luke Rockhold. Ooh, a jumping switch kick on the left side for Rockhold. Missed, but then he ducks in on a double leg takedown. He has the hands behind the butt, but they're not clasped together. He looked to get his left leg kind of grapevine behind the hips of Blachowicz. Didn't get that either. Blachowicz is going for a pummeling in with his right arm to get the underhook on Luke Rockhold, but Rockhold is really pressing Blachowicz up against the fence here. He goes to try to drag him away from the fence, get the fight to the ground. Didn't get it. He grapevines his right leg over the left leg of Blachowicz right in front of the Thunderhead Brewing logo, and he's trying to pull him to the canvas, obviously. That's why we are in this clinch position. He's working for a takedown. Rockhold briefly had the hips of Blachowicz away from the fence and was going to get him to the canvas, but Blachowicz was good with his balance. Rockhold took him down to one knee just there. Blachowicz popped right back to his feet, but we're in the same kind of position here. We've got the double underhooks from Luke Rockhold. He gets him down to one knee. Rockhold has Blachowicz down to one knee. He puts his left arm over the top of the back of the head of Blachowicz, and he might be looking for a guillotine kind of thing. He's going for a standing guillotine. Slips off, and he's back in on the double leg attempt. Blachowicz defends on his right side the left arm of Rockhold from him getting that hand behind his hips. So then Rockhold is forced to go to a near side single leg. He pulls the hips away from the fence of Blachowicz. Blachowicz's fence away from the hips, or you get it. Briefly had the left leg of Blachowicz off the canvas. Blachowicz defends well, puts his both feet back on the ground, and then fires off a short right elbow that lands on the chin of Luke Rockhold. Rockhold ate it decently well, and we're staying in this position. Blachowicz is framing off the head of Rockhold with his right forearm. Now he's got the right hand underneath the chin of Luke Rockhold. Rockhold has pummeled in for a underhook. We're in the 50-50 underhook position. So we got the right underhook, Luke Rockhold, left underhook left overhook for Rockhold. That's the 50-50. My stream briefly is pausing. Come back, please. Come on now. Oh, great. We're in the same exact spot as we were before. And now we separate. Luke Rockhold goes for a teep to the body that didn't find the range. We are at distance toward the middle of the cage here. Left high kick landed on the temple of Blachowicz from Rockhold, but just with the foot, not with any shin. So it didn't do any damage, but it landed. It's definitely going to score points for him. Blachowicz with an inside low kick. Push kick to the body lands for Rockhold. Left high kick missed for Luke. Blachowicz charges forward like a bull and landed a right straight, but I couldn't tell how good it landed. Blachowicz with a lead left hook didn't find the range there. Joe Rogan, the guys are talking about Luke Rockhold had staph infection on his left shin, and Blachowicz landed a kick to that shin. Rockhold briefly switched stances, but he's still in the southpaw stance now. He was only briefly in the orthodox. Rockhold pressed forward with a rear hand straight, the left straight. Didn't get it. stream keeps pausing. At range here, right outside low kick lands for Luke Rockhold. Overhand left missed for Rockhold. Rockhold is pressing Blachowicz back, not with his body, but just kind of with pressure. Left high kick fired by Luke Rockhold and went over the head of Blachowicz. Didn't hit him, didn't hurt him. Spinning back into the body, just touched him for Luke Rockhold on Blachowicz. Ooh, a big left hand. Oh my God. A big left hand and a left high kick at the very end of the round as Herb Dean was trying to stop the fighters from fighting anymore. Blachowicz landed a huge left kick that dropped Luke Rockhold at the end of the round. And Rockhold, his eyes look washed. Oh. It was after the horn, but Herb Dean hadn't stepped in between them yet when the left high kick landed. And the commission is talking to the referee, Herb Dean. The kick was initiated at the bell, not after it. Okay, so it's all legal. Let's get ready for round number 2 then, I suppose. Okay, they meet in the center of the cage. Rockhold with a left kick and a left straight. Both of them land on Blachowicz. Blachowicz with his lead left hook. Briefly goes into the southpaw stance after a low kick from Blachowicz. Blachowicz with 2 inside low kicks on Rockhold, a jab to the body. Rockhold, he's standing upright. He seems there. Outside low kick lands for Blachowicz. Ooh, a right straight land for Blachowicz. Excuse me. Left straight missed for Rockhold. Inside low kick landed huge for Blachowicz. And the reason why I reacted is it looked like Rockhold was buckling down a little bit. He's eating some big inside low kicks from Jan Blachowicz. We were at range in the middle of the octagon for a second. Rockhold feinted with his left straight, ducks in on a takedown attempt. He's got his hands clasped together behind the back of Blachowicz, but it's a 50-50 underhook position. So I don't think he's going to get anything from this. Rockhold unclasped his hand. He is got a right underhook, and he's got his left arm on the bicep of Blachowicz. Blachowicz pushed him off for a second and landed a short left shot in tight. Now Rockhold Blachowicz actually has double underhooks. I was going to say Rockhold had double whizzers, but that's the same thing. Now 50-50 underhook. Blachowicz pummels to go double underhooks. But Rockhold is keeping the whizzers tight. Oh! Left hook from Jan Blachowicz knocked out Luke Rockhold. As they separate from that clinch position, a big left hook dropped Luke Rockhold, and he was out immediately. He's back awake. I'll wait to see the replay. So I think based on my clock, it happened at about 1:40 of round number 2. God, you kind of got the feeling that was just going to come soon, right? So coming into it, we had questions about Luke Rockhold's chin. They're showing us the end of the first round again. The left high kick hit the back of the head, like right behind the ear, up top and behind the ear. So I was mentioning that Rockhold had the double overhooks or double whizzers. Blachowicz had the underhooks. Blachowicz got his right arm out of it and was like kind of turning his body away like this, and Rockhold was trying to wrench in his left arm. Blachowicz pulled away with his left arm and then came back, bam, smacked him. So, yep. So Rockhold was kind of trying a hip toss with that wizard that he had on the left arm of Blachowicz, trying to like a little bit of a hip toss. Blachowicz pulled away from it, tapped him with the right hand, and then left hook, bang. And they're talking about Blachowicz is now in title contention. The official decision is brought to you by Thunderhead Brewing out of Kearney, Nebraska. Yeah, so anyway, we had questions coming in about Luke Rockhold's chin. Blachowicz does hit pretty hard. But he's just not that durable. Blachowicz does hit really hard. Let's give him some credit. But I'm just saying we had that question coming in. Seems like we got an answer to it. Joe Rogan asked Blachowicz if Luke Rockhold's trash talk coming into this fight affected him at all. And he said, I'm too old for this. Trash talk does not affect me. I'm too old for this. So I'm just going to recap it again. Rockhold tries to do a hip toss with the right whizzer. Blachowicz taps with the right hand, pulls the left away, comes back with the hook. Spam! Sleeping. Feel me? Joe Rogan asked Blachowicz where Blachowicz thinks this puts him, and he's like, well, I would hope at the top, but who knows? Joe Rogan says, congratulations, sir. Thank you for subscribing. Nick Rodriguez, John Sandilands, Richard Patterson, Darren Sensrud, Jeweler Chick, Nathan Retta, Marquise Eldridge. I apologize if I missed you. So I apologize for not putting up my scorecard at the end of the first round. I was just taken aback by the kick that Blachowicz landed on Luke Rockhold at the end of the first round, and I was focused on that. I'm sorry, I was hyper-focused on that, and I didn't put the scorecard up. In the end, though, as you know, the scorecard didn't matter because the result. Jan Blachowicz knocked out the former middleweight champion Luke Rockhold with a big left hook and follow-up ground and pound strikes, one of which was a backhand, like a hammer fist, from a weird angle. 142 of round number 2. Thank you for subscribing. The Kais, and Sieve. Thank you for subscribing. American Bully Mini Mr. Cut. Hey June, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you when you messaged about all the trolls. Yeah, the things have been wild so far. I appreciate everybody for being here. It's been a lot of fun for me. I'm sorry that there has been so much negativity and trolls and links and stuff in the comments, in the live chat. Thank you for subscribing. Asri LHMJ, Pakira Henry, Roachwise, Borky. Thank you all so very much. Hey, while we got a lull in the action here, next up is a highly anticipated welterweight fight between Jorge Gamebred Masvidal and Funky Ben Askren. I would like to please ask you to give this video a thumbs up. My goal for thumbs up on this video is 450. With your help, I think we can get there. 450 thumbs up. Why do I ask for them? The more thumbs up we can get on this stream, the more likely we are to be able to do these for the foreseeable future. Every video that is put on this channel is critiqued and criticized. The analytics are looked at by the high-ups at Vox Media, at SB Nation, at Bloody Elbow, at MMA Mania. It all trickles down, trickles up, however you want to look at it. And they will decide if that video if that video series, if that content creator, myself, will stay on that channel. So if I can get a high amount of thumbs up, and it's actually the thumb up to thumb down ratio that's important. If I can get a lot of thumbs up and that my ratio is good, we can do these for the foreseeable future. I enjoy doing them. It seems like you guys enjoy the content that I'm trying to bring to you. I only ask that you give it a thumbs up if you enjoy the content so that we can do these in the future. Thank you for subscribing. I don't think I said, did I say Janie Smith? Thank you. Jenna Jefferson Franklin, the two famous early settlers. I don't know what to call them. One guy's a president, and Franklin, of course, famous guy, inventor, print and press, yada yada. Catherine Dott, Letitia Duckett, Benny Jalame. I'm so sorry if I butcher your names, and I'm sorry that I'm not able to get to the live chat as much as I would like. David Wilkinson says, Jorge is about to get mauled. David Linder says, funky. Joshua Brassard says, 2 thumbs up. Thank you so much, my friend. Iron Will, here's my thumb, number 145. Dope. Whoa, we're already at 262 thumbs up. Thank you, Frost Nixon. Thank you, Kevin McCann and VP Row PC. It's a heck of a name. Contavious Clark. Okay, so who are you guys picking to win this highly anticipated welterweight fight? Thank you for subscribing, Jay Real. The tale of the tape, we don't know. UFC.com blows. Funky Ben Askren is one of like the most popular fighters to ever have a 1-0 record in the UFC. We don't have his record. Okay. Well, let's see here. Funky Ben Askren is 19-0 and 1 no contest with 6 wins by knockout, 6 wins by submission, and 7 via decision. He's coming off that controversial bulldog choke victory in his UFC debut against former UFC welterweight champion of the world and former Strikeforce welterweight champion as well, I believe, Ruthless Robbie Lawler. Jorge Gamebred Masvidal is 33-13. They both stand 5'11" tall. Masvidal has a 2-inch reach advantage at 74 inches in wingspan and a 1.5-inch reach advantage with the legs. This matchup is pretty clear cut. It's striker versus grappler. Jorge Masvidal is a well-rounded mixed martial artist, of course, but that's the dynamic that we're going to have. Masvidal's not going to grapple with Ben Askren. Ben Askren is in there to wrestle you, to ground and pound you, to look for a submission. He's got a singular focus. Wrestle, 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 try for something, right? So the dynamic's pretty clear. Ooh, thank you so much, just in case. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. It's amazing. I appreciate it. Doug Russell says Masvidal won't have a chance. Speaking of chances, let's go over the Vegas odds. Ben Askren is a -220 favorite. The comeback on Jorge Masvidal is +200. That means if you put $220 on Ben Askren, you would win $100. If you put $100 on Jorge Masvidal, you would win $200. Thank you for subscribing. Hold up, bruh. Jordan Mitchell, just in case, of course. Iluna and William Glover. Drew Pack Dior, y'all, keep that same energy, please. I'm trying, my friend. BT Caldwell. Oh, thank you so much, BT. Golly. I appreciate it, guys. Adriano Ferreira. 1 hug from Brazil. 1 hug from Nebraska, my friend. Haha. Cut the knot, says Masvidal is going to eat an unhappy meal. So, for the next streams, I think we definitely could get a poll on the live so we could gauge who you guys are picking to win percentage-wise, but we don't have that this time. So let me just ask you to put it in the comment section, and I will just kind of see how many are flowing by. Not who you're picking to win. I don't want to know who you're picking to win. I want to know who you want to win this fight. And Funky Ben Askren is making his way to the octagon right now. He's walking out to something funky, some like funky. We want the funk. Give up the funk. We want the funk. Shh. Gotta have that funk. Yeah. Thank you for subscribing. The Maverick, Euphoria Effect, Cordy Bulldog. $1 Bob, says Sam Fisher. Thank you for being here, Rob Lyson. Jeremy S. wants Jorge. David Wilkinson wants Ben Askren. Reef Bassett wants Askren. David Andronico wants Masvidal. Murda, JJ. I Murda, JJ says Ben. Hey Babe wants Ben. No Limit AR, Askren. David Linder. Jorge. No, I'm not saying that. Never mind. FB wants Ben. Funky Ben's hair, I mean, it's curly as all get out. Have you seen oh, it's a TV show from my youth. Corey Matthews. What show's Corey Matthews off of? His hair looks a little bit longer than Corey Matthews' hair. And it's, orangish brown. It's brown with a little orange tint to it. Anyway, now Jorge Masvidal's making his way to the cage. He slapped himself in the chest a lot. The screen always punched himself in the face about 4 times. Screen says he was born in Miami, Florida. Follow him on Twitter at GameBredFighter. Thank you for subscribing, Kevin Tuso, Doug Russell. I appreciate it so much. Kendall Payton wants Ben to win. Waddle's ASMR, Autonomic Sensory Motor Response, wants Jorge to win. Boy Meets World, thank you, Tom. You're always got my back, buddy. Yeah, Boy Meets World. And Rob too, yes. So it's kind of like Corey, Topanga's boyfriend. Paul Camp, Holly will probably fight in about a half an hour from now. Sam Fisher, Askren gonna smother him for 3 rounds, lame decision fight. Not the Wonder Years. Oh yeah, he kind of does look like the guy from Wonder Years. But Corey and Sean. How did I just forget Corey's last name? Matthews. Eric Corey Matthews. Sean Hunter. Nick Rodriguez says Askren is going to German suplex Masvidal through the floor. Tail of the tape, both guys are 34 years old. Both guys are 5'11". Both guys weighed in at about 171 pounds. But Jorge Masvidal has a 1-inch reach advantage, which according to Fightnomics by Reed Kuhn with Kelly Krieger is not significant. This fight is brought to you by Thunderhead Brewing out of Kearney, Nebraska. The Crop Duster IPA is an American staple, one of the best IPAs that has ever been made, in my opinion. Also, a drinker recently at the pub told me that this is his favorite IPA in the country. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 19 wins, 0 losses, and 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of, I don't know, they took the screen away from me, the USA, Funky Ben Askren. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red Valetudo shorts out of the red corner, with a professional record of 33 wins, 13 losses, fighting out of Miami, Florida, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. Thank you so much, Substitute Life. Let's go Jorge Masvidal, he says. A little bit of my heart's going to cheer for him just because of what you just did. Thank you so much. Jason Herzog, our referee. All right, here we go. Fight, are you ready? Fight. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy shoot. What the fuck? Oh. So Funky Ben Askren, they say let's do it. Oh my God. They say let's do it. They come across the cage and immediately Jorge throws a flying knee, knockout, sleeping immediately. One strike, one kill, over. Funky Ben Askren fell down. He's still sleeping. He's still sleeping. That's the fastest knockout in the history of time. What? What? I'm sorry my reaction was delayed. I'm in shock. What? So they Ben Askren, the fastest knockout in UFC history. Ben Askren is like, so you know how you've seen those videos where Jorge Masvidal has his hands behind his back and he's waiting for Funky Ben Askren to do something to him. He's kind of standing by the fence with his hands behind his back. Funky Ben's scooting across the octagon, scooting across. He's coming forward as he passes like the center of the cage. Masvidal starts to run. Askren starts to dip his head down, jumping, flying knee, bam, and Ben Askren just like boom. And he was sleeping immediately. He was unconscious in another world, in the upside down land, like on Stranger Things, sleeping immediately, and two like ground and pound strikes after that, unnecessary, but he landed him anyway. And then he goes over and talking shit to Ben Askren's unconscious body. Ben Askren is just now getting his wits about him. He's sitting on his butt. His eyes are glazed over. Oh. Joe Rogan is saying that was an absolute brutal knockout. Not just the knockout, but the subsequent follow-up shots that were completely unnecessary. Then Joe Rogan is saying that we need to keep a close eye on Ben Askren. Dana White is like, what? Fastest knockout in UFC history, 5 seconds. Right to the jaw. Side of the head. Jeff's... I'll describe it in more detail again in a second. Wow, let's watch the replay again. Wow, that is something else. They're taking Ben Askren out of the octagon, and he is not on sturdy legs still. Ben Askren's still not on sturdy legs. Oh my goodness. Well, that's what happens when there's a fighter who, like, yeah, he only has that one thing that he does. Runs forward, goes for the takedown. Ben Askren just ducks in to, like, so the knee was like right on the jaw on the right side of his face. Jorge starts with his hands behind his back, kind of scoots to the right along the fence. As soon as Ben Askren crosses like the halfway point of the octagon, Jorge just runs to him, running, jumping knee, sping. And, oh, man, that was brutal. Fastest knockout in UFC history, 5 seconds in. Joe Rogan, oh, my freaking stream stopped for a second. I'm flustered. Jorge says, thank you, God Almighty, for this journey. It's been 16 years. I want to say hello to my daughter. Before that, Joe Rogan was saying, Jorge, that's the fastest knockout in UFC history. It was officially 5 seconds, but it was more like 2 seconds. It took him like 3 seconds to come over and save him from you. Masvidal said he really wanted to beat him up for 14 minutes and 30 seconds, but whatever, it didn't happen. Joe Rogan says, Jorge, is this something that you planned? Okay, so they're Ben Askren is shuffling across the octagon. Ben Askren shuffling, like, you know, like he doesn't, it's not stepping like one foot after another. It's, you know, like kind of both feet kind of going. And like I said, as soon as he gets past the center of the octagon, Masvidal runs and jumps, leaps, and yeah, it was like knee here. This, like, the knee hit this whole freaking this. Whap! And then just Masvidal called out Kamaru Marty Usman. And then Masvidal's last words are, "You're welcome for me ending that dude." Okay, we're going to watch this finish again. So Ben Askren shuffling. And oh, here's something that's been cool that they've been using tonight. It's like the Matrix shot where they do a 360. Masvidal sprints, jumps like the right knee, like if you're doing a layup, you know, same arm in basketball, same arm, same leg. So like the left leg coming up, right arm's coming up. So like he leaps up with that, the left leg and the right, or the left leg, left arm come up, and then when like he brings the right one to bam, and then the whole and my goodness. Rob Amon says Masvidal versus Woodley. I like it. I'm a little bit legitimately worried for the health and safety of funky Ben Askren. I told you guys that we were going to watch Holly Holm challenge Amanda the Lioness Nunes for the title in about a half an hour. Forget about it. Let's go back to this. Look at this. Just get this image ingrained in your mind. Follow Kaposa at Grabaka Hitman on Twitter, or Zombie Prophet on Twitter. There's probably a GIF or a GIF, a motion image, a little bit of video of that finish. I guarantee it's on Twitter already. If those guys haven't put it out on their own accounts, they've retweeted it already. So head over to the Twitter, Zombie Prophet or Grabaka Hitman Kaposa, and they've got it for you already. And we'll get ready to talk about this co-main event of the evening, Amanda the Lioness Nunes putting her 135-pound women's bantamweight title on the line against former champion of that division, Holly the Preacher's Daughter Holm. I'm still shook. Huh. Michael Wall, the three-piece. Yeah. Chadwick Mack says he's now 7-1 against ATT. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Metal Maniac, Polly777, Substitute Life, Mohammed, Brian Cox, and Augustin Razzo. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to reset the round last time anyway. Well, at least we can get it this time. Let's see if the great Esther Lynn has a picture for us yet. Thank you for subscribing, Building and Exploring, Bojan Raskovich. Thank you so very much. Is Ben alive? We should check the Twitter machine to see if Ben is alive. My goodness. Masvidal said about Funky Ben, you should have kept your mouth shut. I probably would have beat you in the second round. Oof. Thank you for subscribing. The NorCal shooter, Mandy Hart, 1823. Jerome Anaya. Thank you so much, Ponch818. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a whole bunch. Thank you for subscribing, Brian Blass, Paul Highland, Aston Parchment, Ponch818, Lil Killa, Jack Nagel. I'm trying to find, let's find, I don't see anything on Twitter that suggests that I don't see anything on Twitter about Askren being okay yet. But let's see if we can find all these images that you're seeing right now. What I'm trying to find are Esther Lynn from MMAfighting.com. I guess the Ben Askren one should be up soon, but let's look at some images that we've watched already. Let's see. So it's a pretty good right high kick that Rockhold landed on Blachowicz. Thank you for subscribing, Mike, Ben Chesko, Bryce Smith, Roosevelt, Morena and Bruce, Atruon, Ryan Caulfield. There's a left. That's the left high. See what we're looking at right now is the left high kick that Blachowicz landed on Rockhold at the end of the first round. That's what had me see it, and you can see Herb Dean right there coming in to try to pause the action. That's a heck of a good shot by Esther Lynn. Way to go. Did someone else just give me some money? I can't see it. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, Ben Chesko. Thank you so much, Ben. Big O, Natalio Xavier. Thank you so much for subscribing. And that's Luke Rockhold on his knee after eating that left high kick from Blachowicz. It's a big right hand from Blachowicz on Rockhold. And that's right after that left hook. Spit flying. Next picture, I bet's Rockhold on the canvas. Yep. Very nice images by Esther Lynn from MMA Fighting. Maybe if I reset, she'll already have the Ben Askren. I'll keep checking. We'll keep checking back. For now, I'll just show you this. Okay, man, I feel like we could talk about that 5 seconds between Masvidal and Ben Askren for a long time. First thing, amazing. Wow, what I just witnessed the fastest knockout in UFC history. And the guy who won was a plus 200 underdog. Whoa. Mind-boggling. But then getting on the canvas and kind of tapping the floor afterward and talking smack to an unconscious Ben Askren, a little bit unnecessary. You know, could have done without that, but that's fine. Thank you for subscribing, Craig Banwell, Ed Sanchez, Justin Friedman. Did I say those already? Maybe not. Oh, but we've got Holly Holm making her way to the cage. We got to move right along with these fights. No time to be stunned by that last result. No time at all. Let me refresh one more time. See if there's Jorge Masvidal's finish up here yet. Nope. Okay, Holly, the preacher's daughter Holm, is making her way to the octagon, which means we are about to have a 5-round contest, and we're going to switch to the 5-round overlay. Let's take ourselves... Let's go to this one. Thank you for subscribing. Tyler Robinson, Ashley Swiss, Malone Jr., and Ronnie Jones. Thank you so much. With your guys' help, I think we can make it to 80,000 by the end of this video. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to me. And if you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up. My goal was 450, but I think we could get 600. Can we please get 600 thumbs up on this video? It would mean a lot to me. Pezo888 says the knockout video is on Twitter at Barstool Sports. So just check that out. Holly Holm is in the Flying Brian J. Thunderhead Brewing prep point, getting Vaseline put on her. She's got her mouthpiece in. She's wearing a two-piece gray sports bra and gray Vale Tudo shorts. She is now in the octagon. This video is brought to you in part by Thunderhead Brewing out of Kearney, Nebraska. Crop Duster IPA, an American staple. One of the best IPAs and longest running IPAs that I can remember. So I'm not lying to you. It's a really good beer, and I make it. Thank you for subscribing. Charlie Boy, Tony Shashati, and Jets Polly. She is, I mean, Holly Holm is always like a ball of nervous energy. You know, she looks very nervous in the cage right now. She looks, I mean, she's always a composed fighter. She's a veteran. You know, she's a very high level, high caliber competitor, but she looks pretty darn nervous right now. Very tense. Thank you for subscribing, Zach Martin and Mark Shack 1991. And now Amanda the Lioness Nunes making her way to the octagon. How's it going? AK Thumb Grips, California. Joshua Shin Jr. feels bad for Ben Askren. So do I. And not that I'm a huge fan of him, but anybody that is on the losing end of the fastest knockout of all time, that sucks for them. Excuse me. Thank you for subscribing, Tattooed Gamers. Who do you guys want to win this fight between Amanda Nunes and Holly, the Preacher's Daughter Holm? Not who do you think is going to win, but who do you want to win? While we do that, I'll go over the odds. Amanda, the Lioness Nunes, is a minus 355 favorite. The comeback on Holly, the Preacher's Daughter Holm, is plus 320. What that means is if you put $355 on Amanda Nunes and she wins, you would get paid, you get $455 back, meaning you profited $100. If you put $100 on Holly Holm at plus 320, you'd give them $100, they'd give you back $420, which means you profited $320. Thank you for subscribing, David Switzer, Craig Miser, Leonidas Carnius. Oh, so many subscribers in once that my thing moved. Oh, I gotta update my results. Walter Goy wants Holly to win, but chances are slim. Matthew Orlandi, Nunes for the win. Lolita Davidovich wants Holly to win. Jay Real, let's go Holly. Junior's Joshua Shin Jr., Jones or Santos. We'll get there. Amanda Two Belts Nunes for all the wins. I have to update my results here. Sorry, I'm silent here. I'm trying to update the results with something clever, but not like bad. I put Masvidal crushed Askren in 5 seconds. It could have put like flying knee him or something. Nigel Morris, Holly, but she has no chance. Sir Gold, I don't believe Ben died. Ah. Well, how does Amanda look? Yes, let's get back to this. Tail of the tape. Holly Holm is 6 years older at 37. Both women are 5'8", both about 135 pounds. Nunes looks good. She gives, I believe it's Mark Goddard, a fist bump, a smile. Holly Holm is pacing back and forth with that nervous energy, as I mentioned. Our judges, our referee in charge is Mark Goddard. And now, this fight is 5 rounds in the UFC Women's Bantamweight division for the undisputed UFC Bantamweight title of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a kickboxer holding a professional record of 12 wins, 4 losses. She stands 8 inches tall, fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. The plus 310 underdog and former UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion of the world, Holly, the Preacher's Daughter, Holm. What the shit? And now, introducing out of the red corner, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 135 pounds with a professional record of 17 wins, 4 losses, the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion of the world. She's also the Women's Featherweight Champion of the world, Amanda the Lioness Nunes. She's getting her hips loose, and she puts her fists in the air, gives us a little flex-a-rooney dooney. We're about to be off, my dudes. Margada brings him to the center of the octagon. They touch gloves. He says, you know, you got to do what I say. Fight hard, fight clean. When I tell you to stop, you will stop. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Excuse me, I'm sorry. My family's sick. My son's got a cold. Thank you for subscribing, Jeff Rutledge, Will Code, Lucio. Hold on. All right, fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Let's go. Holly Holm is in the. She's got tight Valetudo shorts on and a sports bra. Amanda Nunes has like boxer briefs, not boxer briefs, like boxers. She's got board shorts on essentially, and a black sports bra. She's got tape around her ankles. Holly Holm fighting out of the southpaw stance. Amanda Nunes fighting out of the orthodox stance. Holly Holm is the one that's pressing forward. Now she moves past the double stripe. Amanda Nunes on the back foot, moving back toward the fence. Amanda Nunes with a right round body kick, landed. I feel a lot of energy, a lot of nervous energy between the two women right now, between these two competitors. Nunes briefly was the one moving forward. Holly Holm on the back foot. Nunes came forward with a double hook combination. It didn't land, but it got Holly Holm to back up. Inside low kick landed for Amanda Nunes, but a counter right hook landed for Holly Holm that got Amanda Nunes off of her balance a little bit. Tonight's been a night of upsets. Overhand right. Gosh, sorry. Overhand right missed for Amanda Nunes. Holly with a stepping side kick to the thigh, landed. Now it's Holly Holm moving back into her left, right on the edge of the double stripe. Amanda Nunes standing smack dab in the center of the cage, right on top of the Thunderhead Brewing logo. Nunes comes forward with a jab. It didn't quite get there. Inside low kick lands for Nunes. Stomp to the thigh lands for Holm. Right round kick on the guard of Holm from Nunes. Nunes moving forward, feinted with a wide right, didn't have it. Kick to the leg, didn't have it. Holly Holm, doing the breathing. Wide right, missed from Amanda Nunes. A stomp to the body. It might have been the thigh. We didn't have a good angle, but anyway, Holm landed a kick of some sort. Didn't have a good angle on it. Holm, another stomp to the thigh, lands. Holm moving back into her right. She blocks a kick attempt from Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes fires that wing and right hand, but it didn't land. Didn't have the range on it. Holly Holm moving back into her left. Then she comes forward with a combination, a 1-2, and she's in on a clinch position. Holly Holm had a whizzer on Amanda Nunes, was holding her there for a second. They separate. Nunes tried to throw a shot as they exit the clinch, but didn't land. Nunes come forward with a jab and then an overhand right. Didn't find it. Holly Holm tried to duck under and get a takedown attempt, but she didn't get it. Nunes in on the takedown attempt, but Holm used a whizzer to hip down and get herself right back to the feet. Nice takedown defense by Holly Holm. Nice kind of back and forth takedown attempts there by these two competitors. Holm moving laterally to her left. She feinted in, and then as she feinted, Amanda Nunes fired a lead leg kick that landed on Holm. The crowd is yelling Holly. Holly, Holly, Holly. Stomp to the thigh lands for Holm. Body kick landed for Nunes. Stomp to the thigh land for Holm. Holm feinted with her famous round left high kick. But lead left hook landed for Amanda Nunes. And I'm going to be looking for some swelling underneath the right eye from Holly Holm from that very powerful lead left hook. Looked like she's fine for now. We are both right on top of the center of the octagon. A jab 2, did not have the range from Amanda Nunes. Holly Holm now is on the front foot. She eats a body kick and then a wide right hand from Amanda Nunes. Left straight. Oh, right high kick. Amanda Nunes, right high kick, right hand, left hand on the ground and pound, and another right hand slept Holly Holm first round. 44 seconds left to go in the first round. A right roundhouse high kick caught Holly Holm on the temple. She falls to her butt, was still awake for a second there. A right ground and pound strike, a left behind it, and then another right hand seals the deal for #andstill. Amanda, the Lioness Nunes, has now defeated every woman who has held a belt other than herself at 125, 125, not 125. Anyway, she has beat everybody who's held the title at 135 pounds. She has beat everybody who's held the title at 145 pounds. She hasn't fought Jermaine Duran to me. Amanda Nunes dancing. She's doing a little shuffle, smiling a lot. So I was a little convoluted with what I was saying there. My point is, she is now, there have been Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate, Holly Holm, Amanda Nunes are the champions at 135 pounds. Amanda Nunes has now defeated all of them in title fights. She's also defeated Chris Cyborg, who was the most prominent 145-pound champion other than Amanda Nunes. And she has defeated the 125-pound champion twice in Valentina Shevchenko. Yep. Let's watch this replay one more time. Holly Holm, I believe, is now like 2-7 in her last, or maybe 2-5 in her last 7. Holly Holm was going for that right leg stomp to the lead leg of Amanda Nunes, and as Holm was firing for that lead leg of Nunes, Nunes was firing her power leg at the temple of Holm and knocked her down with it. Red Hood Gaming 12 says the women's go. I think it's clear that I think Amanda Nunes is the best fighter of all time at women's 135 pounds. But Rousey's still the most memorable, and she was the most popular. But yeah. We now go to Bruce Buffer for the official decision. Mark Goddard has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes 10 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, and still the undisputed UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion of the world, Amanda the Lioness Nunes. And now Amanda Nunes has a new belt, one of the new UFC belts, over her left shoulder, and she has her old featherweight title over her right shoulder. And now Joe Rogan is with our double champion, Amanda the Lioness Nunes. Joe Rogan says, not only did you defend your title tonight, but you removed all doubt from you being the greatest women's fighter of all time. I don't know what she just said. She said, Amanda Nunes is now tied for the UFC Women's Championship most title defenses with with Jędrzejczyk and Rousey. So Jędrzejczyk and Rousey. I'm sorry for my speech problem there. Amanda Nunes said she decided to knock Holm out with a head kick because that's what she was famous for. So she finished her in the way that Holm was famous for doing. Amanda Nunes says that she plans to defend her 145-pound title next. She's going to go and she's going to call Dana White tomorrow. She says, Dana, I'm going to call you and we're going to have a talk, buddy. Huh. All right. Wow. A lot of finishes on this main card. We're going to get out of here pretty early tonight. Nunes said that there's voting for the Fighter of the Year awards coming up, and she said, please have voted for me. Wow, okay. Rob Amon, who do you think should be next for Amanda the Lioness Nunes? Let's pull up, you know what we should do? Let's pull up, excuse me. We are on UFC.com right now. Let's go to the rankings. Next up, we've got the main event of the evening. Jon Bones Jones defends his UFC light heavyweight championship against challenger Thiago Marreta Santos. Let's move this over here. Okay, hopefully you can see this here. So these are the... I'm sorry. Here's the UFC Women's Bantamweight rankings. Of course, we got the champion, Amanda Nunes. And then the number one contender is Germaine de Randamie, the former UFC Women's Featherweight Champion. She vacated the title. Then we got Holm, who just lost, obviously. That's not on the cards. Next weekend, actually, Germaine de Randamie is going to fight Aspen Ladd. So I guess the winner of the next week's main event is going to be the number one contender for Amanda Nunes at women's bantamweight. So let's go over to women's featherweight. Oh, wait. Look at this. Look at this. Here's UFC.com, women's featherweight rankings. So, as you can see here on the live broadcast on my screen, there's nobody ranked at women's featherweight. But who just defeated Megan Anderson? I'm trying to find who. Hey, do you guys know who just defeated Megan Anderson? Uh, Thank you, Milad Zaya. Felicia Spencer. So Felicia Spencer just came into the UFC, heavy underdog to Megan Anderson. She's undefeated. Her last 3 wins have come by rear naked choke, the latest of which over Pam Sorensen and Megan Anderson. She called out Chris Cyborg for a fight, and she's getting it at the end of July at UFC 240. And I think, I suppose the winner of that fight, either you get Amanda Nunes rematching Chris Cyborg, Justino, or you have Felicia Spencer as the next challenger for Amanda Nunes' women's featherweight title. I think that's so. We got a pretty clear picture of the future for the women's bantamweight and featherweight championships. Thank you for subscribing. Top Notch Reviews, Ted Rachow, Jennifer Demon, Alexi Torres, Ro Lillian, Wetsome Spaz TH. Thank you so much for subscribing. I truly appreciate it. With your help, we can get to 80,000 by the end of July. Who are you guys picking to win? No, not who are you picking. Who do you want to win between the widely regarded GOAT, Jon Bones Jones, and the challenger, the former middleweight, Thiago Marreta Santos? Who do you want to win this fight? Do you want Johnny Bones to continue being the greatest of all time, or do you want his long-standing reign as the best fighter, at least at 205 pounds, to reign supreme? I have to take a very small break. I will be right back. I just want to make sure that I'm fresh and here with a clear mind for the main event of the evening. I have to take a pee. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about my absence there. I just, if I have to pee a little bit, I might not give you the best play-by-play that I can possibly muster for this main event. The reason we're all here, or one of the reasons we're all here, is this main event between Jon Bones Jones and Thiago Marreta Santos. So I got to make sure that I got a clear bladder. Thank you for subscribing, Marwa Green, Buck50, Anonymous, Reese B, Jared Brown, Facial Tang Gamma, Instagram Sneaker. Thank you all so very much for subscribing. I'm sorry if I missed your name. Chat's moving faster than I'm used to, which also means I've been kind of talking faster than you're probably comfortable with, so I apologize for that. Why don't I get diapers? Or maybe a P-tube? Catheter? Could get a catheter for the fights, right? Thank you for subscribing, Chris Young, Jason Leia, and Kevin Andretta. Hello from Brazil, says Douglas Castro. All right, we are ready for the main event of the evening. Let's go over the tail of the tape. Let's go over the odds first. The odds have Jon Bones Jones at minus 605. The comeback on Thiago Santos at plus 505. That means it would take $605 to win $100 on Jon Jones, or you could bet $100 and win $505 on Thiago Santos. That is, of course, if the person you bet on wins that fight. Let's look at some prop bets. There is no over-under for the first. Actually, Bet 365 thinks the fight is for sure going to go over a round and a half. 5 Dimes thinks it's probably going to be under 2.5 rounds, though. Fight does not go to a decision is basically 4-1. Santos by KO or TKO is basically right on with his odds to win straight up. Jones wins via TKO or KO is plus 125, and Jones to win via submission is plus 170. Hey, June, how many thumbs up do we got? My goal, like I said, guys, I want 600 thumbs up on this video. The reason they're important to me is there's going to be a lot of people that come by later on and think that they found a replay of the fights. And instead, they're going to see my ugly face and everything that we got going on here. They're going to be upset, and they're going to give the video a thumbs down. So in order to kind of offset that, you give it a thumbs up right now, and it will help me out a ton. Thank you for subscribing Cole Lang, Dustin Wilson, Ernest Ochoa, Drew Bell, T. Gouda Lee. Thank you guys a whole bunch. And the reason why the thumb up to thumb down ratio is important is because every video, the high ups at Vox Media and SB Nation, they evaluate if they still want a content creator to be on the channel. They evaluate if they still want a video series to be on their channels. And if you want this video series brought to you by me to be here for the foreseeable future, we need good numbers. It's all about the numbers, man. Thank you for subscribing, Craig Walsh, Chris Hansen, Tyler Downs, Shelly Gibson, Robo. Also, this video is brought to you in part by Thunderhead Brewing out of Kearney, Nebraska. Golden Frau Honey Wheat. Go for the gold. It's a delicious kind of a hybrid between a wheat beer and a mead. I'm going to drink one right now. First beer of the day coming up for me. And it's fine. I will still have my wits about me for this main event and the post-fight show. But I think after all we've seen so far, I deserve a beer. Alec Rivera, thank you so much. Axon Cross, Mark G. Let me talk about how I think the fight's going to go. Thiago Santos, of course, hit super hard. He knocked out Jan Blachowicz with a right hook, I believe, in his last fight, where Jan Blachowicz knocked Luke Rockhold out with a left hook. Tonight, Santos has pretty good like spinning heel kicks, wheel kicks, and stuff like that. Powerful. He's powerful kicker, as well as with kind of wild striking, a brawling style that he has. He's very fast. I think he's lost just a freckle of speed by moving up to 205 pounds. But the smaller guys moving up have had a lot of success because even though they're slower than they were at 185, they're still faster than the guys who have been fighting at 205 or the higher weight class for like their entire career. You look at Anthony Smith has been doing really well. He got a title shot, of course, lost to Jon Jones via decision in Jon Jones' last appearance. But then you're seeing a lot of these guys going up and having a great deal of success by moving up a weight class. Thiago Santos is one of those guys. His speed and power might be able to surprise Jon Jones a little bit, but you know what? I don't think that, like, he's got a puncher's chance, maybe a kicker's chance against Jon Jones. Jon Jones has the most tools of any fighter that has ever competed, right? He's very intelligent in there. He does things that nullifies his opponent's best weapons. Think of when he wrenched on the shoulder of Glover Teixeira. Glover's best opportunity to win that fight was with a right hand. So he goes out there, clinches him up, and wrenches on his shoulder to decrease his power weapon's ability to knock him out at the very beginning of it, while they're still dry even. Jon Jones has incredible wrestling. Incredible wrestling. He's got an enormous reach. He can fight from both stances. He's a patient fighter as well. He's got great cardio. He's like a generally athletic human being. I don't think that Santos is going to win this fight. If he does, it's going to be shocking, and I'm going to be like, oh my God, what the beans is happening here? What? My mind is blown. I just don't see that happening. I think that Jon Jones is going to win, and I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win via submission. Because Jon is so smart, I don't think that he's going to contend with, like, I don't think he's going to be like, hey, let me, like, trade strikes with Thiago Santos. Thank you so much, IR Geek. I appreciate it a whole bunch. Yeah, Jon Jones, I think he's going to get the takedown on Santos and submit him. Maybe ground and pound him. But Thiago Santos got submitted by Eric Spicely. For freaking sakes. And I'm not trying to hate on Eric Spicely. I think he's a cool guy. And that was a long time ago, 3 years ago. But we just saw Eric Spicely lose a decision to Darren Wynn, a 5'6" middleweight. Or 5'8" middleweight. You know, styles make fights, yada yada. It was during a time when Spicely was surprising a bunch of people with their submissions. But yeah, I just think that Jon Jones is going to take his easiest path to victory. That's to get the fight to the ground, go for a submission. Maybe some, not 12-6, but some elbow ground and pound. It might take him to about the second or third round, but I think Jon Jones is going to get this done. Thank you for subscribing, Stephen McNichols, Jared Kirk. Jon Jones is walking out to We Are the Champions at the beginning here. I've paid my dues, time after time. Queen. I freaking love Queen. Freddie Mercury's the greatest frontman of all time, in my opinion. The GOAT walking out to the GOAT. Oh, what a beautiful inception. Like, layering the GOAT on top of the GOAT. And Jon looks to be calm, cool, collected. He looks to be enjoying himself. He's just kind of spinning in a circle in the backstage still. My friends. And now he's walking toward the cage. And the song, I bet, is going to change to something else. Yep, changed. The champ is here. The champ is here. I don't know what song it is, but it sounds like Eminem. I'm not real familiar. But Jon Jones is going to be wearing black, short Valetudo shorts. He is the champion. He was born in Rochester, New York. His professional record is 24 wins, 1 loss, and 1 no contest. The loss was a disqualification for 12-6 elbows over... my God. The deaf guy. My goodness, my memory sometimes, I tell you. Matt Hamill. Jeez. And the no contest was his head kick knockout victory, original head kick knockout victory over Daniel DC Cormier. Thank you, Scott Mack, Mike the G, Bailey Carpenter. And now, Johnny Bones Jones is in the Flying Brian J prep point. Follow me on Twitter at Flying Brian J. Also, SB Nation MMA, which includes Bloody Elbow and MMAmania.com, the only 2 websites on the entire World Wide Web you'll ever need to visit if you're interested in finding out what's going on in mixed martial arts. Right now, he is going to get Vaseline put on his face. He now has a kind of serious look on his face, a look of determination, a look of a champion. He is the light heavyweight champion. He has a 16-fight unbeaten streak in the UFC, 15-0 with 1 no contest. The most wins, 18. No, wait. 16-fight unbeaten streak. Oh, because the loss to Matt Hamill. Okay. He's got the most wins, 18, and the most finishes, 10, in UFC light heavyweight history. He's now getting his fingernails checked to make sure that he doesn't have too long of fingers there. The referee's asking him if he has his mouthpiece in. You can quite clearly see his mouthpiece, brother. He's checking his gloves to make sure there's no, like, needles in them or pennies in them. Jon Jones hitting himself. Oh, hitting his thighs now. Getting friggin' jacked up. He is pumped. I'm pumped. We're all pumped. I'm a pumped. You're a pumped. He's a pumped. Because we're all pumped. Yeah, I'm a pumped. You're a pumped. He's pumped. Because we're all pumped. Yeah. Now Jon Jones is in the octagon. He steps down. Whoa! He does a forward somersault right on top of the Thunderhead Brewing out of Kearney, Nebraska logo. And now he is going to be fighting out of the red corner. He's got the red tape around his gloves, those black shorty shorts, the Philippians tattoo over his right breast. He is 4 years younger than the 35-year-old Thiago Marreta Santos. He is 2 inches taller at 6'4", and he has an 8.5-inch reach advantage at 84 1/2 inches. Now, for the introductions, the guy in a really dapper suit that kind of looks like carpet, Bruce Buffer. I think it was Ben Folks said his suit looks like carpet. This main event is brought to you by Crop Duster IPA, the best IPA made by Thunderhead Brewing. Our judge is in charge. It's gone already. Our referee in charge, Herbus Dinas, the refereeus, will be taking us through us. And he gives us a namaste sign. Thank you, Kendall Payton. I'm glad somebody got it. And now it's time! 5 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. But Bruce Buffer's going to go through some more sponsorship stuff and yada yada, bam 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 bam. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker with a professional record of 21 wins, 6 losses. He stands 6 foot 2 inches tall, weighing in at 204 1/2 pounds. He is a plus 375 underdog, fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. A former middleweight contender, and now the #1 contender in the world at 205 pounds. Thiago Marreta Santos. And now, introducing his opponent, the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a look-see-do fighter with a professional record of 24 wins, 1 loss, and 1 no contest. He stands 6 foot 4 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds, fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He is the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world and widely regarded greatest fighter of all time, Jon Bones Jones. Thank you for subscribing, Chris French, Jack Nagapetian, Keith and Amber, Eckerd, Ephra Lucero, Love is alive and well, Ghost Grower. Thank you all so very much for subscribing. With your help, we can get to 80,000 subscribers by the end of July. Herb Dean has them in the middle. He says, obey my commands, yada yada, let's do this thing. And here we go. Here we go. Jon Jones kind of crawls to the center of the cage. Jon starts out in a southpaw stance. Thiago Santos is in the southpaw stance. Santos is wearing Muay Thai trunks. They are board shorts with a slit halfway up the side. Jon Jones is skulking forward. Santos is on the back foot. Ooh, a left outside low kick landed for Jones. A front kick with his lead leg landed on the face of Santos for Jones. And then a body kick landed for Jones. Inside low kick, return fire from Thiago Santos. I don't know which one of those strikes that didn't count for Jones. All three of them looked like they landed to me. Outside low kick lands for Santos and briefly had Jones off of his balance. Now Jon Jones goes to the orthodox stance. He's still the one moving forward. He's standing right in the middle of the octagon. He moves forward. He's at the double stripe. Santos is moving back and to his right. Santos moving laterally, switches directions. Jones is feinting. Jones feinted with the lead hand, and then an outside low kick with his rear leg landed. Santos is now in the orthodox stance, and Jones is in the southpaw stance. Jones comes forward with a left round kick to the body, and then switches to the orthodox stance. Inside low kick lands for Santos. Santos moving laterally right along the fence. Think about what Tyron Woodley kind of does, but not quite that close. Spinning attempt to the body, missed for Santos, but a right outside low kick land for Santos from the southpaw stance on the orthodox stance, Jon Jones. Story so far here is both guys are switching stances. Santos with a right body kick lands. Jon Jones in on a takedown attempt, warded off by Thiago Santos. As they got to the fence, Jon tried a spinning elbow. It kind of landed, but not with a lot of mustard behind it. They both kind of acknowledged it at each other. A little nodding was happening there. Santos moving back into his right. Jones Jon Jones has a big welt on his shin of his right leg, which is currently his lead leg, from these low kicks from Thiago Santos. And Joe Rogan was just mentioning that he can't eat too many of these because they will really hinder his mobility, and he doesn't have a lot of meat on his chicken legs. And so those kicks could hinder him early. Left high kick goes a little bit too high for Jon Jones on Santos. It catches the guard of Santos. Santos kind of flat-footed at the moment. He comes forward. He feinted with the jab a couple of times, came with a wide right, and then a looping left. None of it found its range for Santos. But he was trying something there, and he was coming forward with his power. Jon was not there to be caught, though. Both guys are in the southpaw stance. They're kind of standing, facing each other, one on each side of the double stripe. Santos just knocked the mouthpiece out of Jon Jones. Oh, it was a wide right from Thiago Santos, I believe. It was a right hook. I don't know if it was a wide right or a lead right hook, but it knocked the mouthpiece out of Jon Jones. It goes to the canvas. Jon kind of smiles. Herb Dean says, "Hey, pick it up and let's do this thing." Jon picks it up, and now he's on the front foot again. Santos moving back and to his left. Stepping side kick to the thigh lands for Jones. Stepping side kick to the body lands for Jones. As he does that, the body kind of slid past, and Santos just was winging wildly. Paul Felder's mentioning that oblique kick, the oblique kick and the side kick to the body, if it slips off, you're right there in punching range. And he just about ate some power shots from Thiago Santos. I think he's lucky to have come out of that unscathed. A wide left. Jon Jones tried to kick to the body again, a side kick, and it didn't slip off as bad there, but a wide left attempted by Thiago Santos nearly got Jones as Jones kind of ducked to the right into that shot. Spinning kick to the body did not have the range for Jones. Outside low kick lands for Thiago Santos. Jones is moving forward. Santos is moving to his right along the double stripe. Jon Jones is in pursuit. Outside low kick lands for Jon Jones. Marreta Santos is feinting with things. He feinted with the push kick to the thigh. He just feinted with his shoulders there. He reacted to a jab feint from Jon Jones. Huh. Ooh. Spinning heel almost caught the head of Thiago Santos from Jon Jones as the round ended. I think Santos got the first round. Maybe. Let me consult somebody else. Jon Jones Corner says that was an excellent round. You're setting a good pace. You got to corral him instead of just following him. You know, when you get close there, he's going to go, "Arr!" But you know what you got to do? You got to stay calm. Jon Jones Corner says there are no calf kicks, all right? You have to defend those kicks. Thiago Santos doesn't seem to be winded at all. Neither guy seems winded at all. Yeah, Santos got round one. Santos hurt his own ankle with a low kick, and now he seems a little bit desperate, firing a lot of wild power shots at Jon Jones, and Jon might smell blood in the water. Inside low kick missed for Thiago Santos. Okay, he seems fine now. Jones moves forward on the edge of the double stripe. Santos comes with a jab. Doesn't have the range in the jab, but an outside low kick landed for him. Jon Jones is back in the southpaw stance. So is Thiago Santos. Jon Jones is the one that's in pursuit here. Santos is feinting. Jon Jones is staying composed. Inside low kick attempted for Santos, but Jon moves right out of the way of it. Jon staying composed here, feinting with his shoulders, moving forward. So right now I think what Jon is doing is, so Santos is moving back, and Santos is moving, and he's getting his back really close to the fence, and Jon is feinting at him and getting these big reactions, kind of big. They're not. Santos isn't swinging back hard. He just swung a big left hook hard at Jon Jones. A left high kick caught the guard of Jon Jones. But I think Jon is trying to draw out these big energy-taking strikes from Santos and just not being there. Because in the first round, when Jon would come forward, he'd come forward with like a side kick to the body or a stomp to the thigh, and he was coming past that, and Santos was catching him with those counters when he'd get in tight. And every time Jon was in that range, Santos was firing wildly. So now Jon is kind of using his guard, his defense, and his movement to get Santos to move backward, and then he'll feint at him when he gets him to feel like he's a caged animal of sorts up against the fence, and Santos will have these big reactions. And even though he's not throwing with a lot of power, and he's just kind of doing stuff to avoid Jon Jones, or he's throwing back feints as well, but I think that nervous energy, Jon is pulling that out, and perhaps in the long run, that's going to get Santos to get a little tired. Anyway, we're on the edge of the double stripe. Jon Jones is in the orthodox stance. Thiago Santos is in the southpaw stance. They're doing a kind of a push-pull thing right now. Jon's feint, like moving his hands around, moving forward, putting his lead hand out there, just touching. Ooh, a front kick to the face landed a little bit. Not with a lot of power from Jon Jones, but that definitely touched the chin of Thiago Santos. Wide left to the body just landed for Santos. I'm surprised to see too, well, maybe not, because of what I said about the Jon pulling off that energy from Santos. Maybe Jon will get him tired and then he'll go for the takedown. Jon came forward with a jab. It kind of oh, left high kick landed for Thiago Santos. That landed with a lot of power, but Jon, his eyes didn't even close, and he's walking him forward still. Woo! Lead hand hook missed for Santos out of that southpaw stance. We've got Jon Jones in the orthodox stance right now. Jon's taking little steps forward, kind of shuffling forward. No, he's not shuffling. He's stepping, but just on the outside of the double stripe. Santos moving to his right. Santos tried for a lead leg right high kick. Wasn't there. Jon easily evaded it. Jon moving forward again. Jon feinted twice with his knee like he was going to throw a kick to the body, and then the third time he did throw the kick to the body. Santos jabbing close to the fence, shifting his shoulders, feinting with both hands, trying to get himself away from the fence, move forward a little bit. As soon as he got like on the edge of the double stripe, Jon started feinting too, and then got him to move back again. Jon with a capoeira round heel kick missed for Thiago Santos, but because of that, the commentators are mentioning that the knee or the ankle that he might have hurt toward the beginning of the round looks to be just fine. Jon with a spinning heel to the body. Another spinning heel up top, not at range at all. Now the strikes are still kind of even. A number of strikes landed on each side. They're pretty even, but I think Jon Jones won the second round. Santos now looks a little bit tired. He's hanging his head a little bit. He's deep breathing. He's kind of belly breathing. We haven't looked at Jon Jones yet. So they're showing us what Joe Rogan thought was a tweaking of the knee. Santos went for a right low kick, and Jon just slipped away from it, and he kind of twisted his left knee when he did it. And Joe Rogan's saying that maybe Santos has a torn ACL. Start. Here we go. They meet in the center of the ring. Cage. They do not touch gloves. Jon offered it up. Santos doesn't take it. Capoeira to the leg. Missed for Santos. Stomp to the thigh. Landed for Jones. Like side kick to the thigh. Outside low kick. Missed for Santos. Rear leg oblique kick. Two of them missed for Santos. Left body kick missed for Santos. Ooh, left high kick just over the head of Jones from Santos. That was a big one. We got Jones in the southpaw stance. Thiago Santos in the orthodox. He's shifting back and forth. He ended up scooting to his right. And now he's going to his left. Outside low kick landed for Jon Jones. Inside low kick lands for Santos. It was on the thigh meat, though, not the low kick. Both guys were throwing stomps to the thigh on their lead leg, but because their lead leg is on... we're in the open stance right now. We got orthodox Jon Jones, southpaw Santos. So their lead legs are like close together, and they were both kind of going for the stomps. Paul Felder's mentioning that Thiago Santos had another stumble due to his left leg. And I'm trying... outside low kick landed for Jon Jones, but he ate like a John Lineker combination. Double hooks from Thiago Santos, but none of it from Santos landed. Jon Jones just dropped Santos, and I don't know what did it. I wasn't at a good angle to see what he dropped him with. Oh, jumping knee landed for Jon Jones, and he went right over the top of him after it. Santos is in on a clinch position against Jon Jones. They separate the clinch, spinning back elbow attempted for Thiago Santos, and Jones easily evaded it. So I definitely think now that we have a compromised mobility in Thiago Santos, and Jon Jones is going to... As I was talking, John Anik says that look for Jon Jones to pick up the pace now, midway through the fight. Thiago Santos just hobbled on his left knee again. Outside low kick missed for Jon Jones. Outside low kick landed for Jon Jones. Jon is now in the southpaw stance, so we got both guys in the southpaw stance at this point. On the outside of the double stripe, a lead hook missed for Santos. This whole fight, it has been Jon. Ooh, inside low kick. Big inside low kick with that left leg from Santos just landed for Jones. Or landed for Santos on Jones. Another inside low kick landed for Santos on Jones. Ooh, left high kick landed on the guard of Jones from Santos, and he fell down afterward, and Jon came forward and slashed open a cut over his, like on his left hairline. Ooh, spinning back kick to the body landed for Jon Jones. Ah, man, Jon Jones' elbows, that's why they call him Bones, are so sharp. Big feint with the right hook by Santos. He's moving back along the fence to his left. Jon Jones in pursuit. Right high kick landed for Jones. Side kick to the thigh landed for Jones. Front kick to the body landed for Jones. Jones just acted like he was going to touch the leg of, like he went to grab the leg of Santos. Left high kick lands for Jones. Santos now, he's bloodied. He looks stomped. Side kick to the thigh landed again for Jones. Jones is reaching down and touching the thigh of Santos. Santos came with a right hook, wide left combo, nowhere close to touching Jon Jones. Jon just threw like the sweet chin music. The side kick to the face. It didn't land, but tried it. Pretty cool. Outside low kick landed for Santos. Okay, little offense for Thiago. Thank you for subscribing, Alex Clark. Inside low kick landed for Santos. The whole fight, Jon has been the guy that's standing on the double stripe. Santos is moving laterally along the fence. Doesn't matter which way he's moving, left or to his right, but he's on the outside of the double stripe, and it's Jon who has his back to the center of the octagon and is pulling out big strikes from Santos and landing the more significant strikes. I know that the stats here, official stats, have it. Man, that was the elbow that cut Santos was so gorgeous. Jon, it had to have been the left. Oh, that was a stepping in left that cut him. So Santos was moving back into his left along the fence, and Jon came forward, stepping in elbow, cut him right above the eye, or right along the hairline. There was an earlier elbow that might have hurt him, that I might have missed. That was Jon countered the lead hook, the right lead hook. He blocked that hook and then came forward and bam, landed the elbow. So I think it's 2-1 for Johnny Bones. Here we go, round number 4, championship round. We're in the same kind of dynamic here. We got Thiago Santos in the southpaw stance on the outside of the double stripe. Jon Jones in the orthodox stance, moving forward. Santos is getting kind of desperate now, winging big strikes, kind of like John Lineker. I love calling it the John Lineker hooks. You know, a lead hook, wide left, lead hook again, wide left, right straight from, like, once he gets his body turned around. But none of it landed with much validity. Yeah, it wasn't worth talking about. Jon Jones, middle of the octagon, inside of the double stripe. Thiago Santos, outside of the double stripe. Jon feints with the jab, comes forward with a spinning kick to the body. Now he feinted with the left straight. Nonetheless. Jon, out of the southpaw stance, is using his left hand, so his rear hand, to grab the lead hand of Thiago Santos. Jon touched the lead leg with his left hand and spun. He's in orthodox, now he's in southpaw, but then he spun with like a capoeira heel, similar to what Thiago Santos is kind of known for. Outside low kick for Jon Jones. Same thing here. Jon Jones has the center of the octagon. He's got the octagon control. He just parried a kick to the body from Santos. Santos just stumbled on his left leg again as he moved backward. Jon feinted with his hips for a left kick. Inside low kick landed for Santos. And then a wide left landed on the chin of Jon Jones from Santos. So Santos, even though he's kind of lacking the mobility, he seems like he's kind of a wounded guy in there, he's still dangerous. Inside low kick, checked by Jon Jones. There was Santos attempting the inside low kick, but Jon checked it. Outside low kick lands for Santos. Jon with a big try at an uppercut. Didn't find it, but man, he really swung at that one. Going for a home run there. Jon jabbed, he feinted a jab from the southpaw stance, and it got a big reaction from Santos. Santos' reaction didn't land, but Jon's pulling out a lot of these counters, would-be counters from Santos. Stomp to the thigh, side kick to the thigh landed for Jon Jones. Commentators are mentioning that from these side kicks to the thigh from Jon Jones. Oh man, another one. Another side kick to the thigh. Jon Jones lands on Santos. Santos, both of his legs are compromised, it seems. Jon Anik just said that Santos is moving gingerly. Santos move forward. He's feinting with his shoulders. Now it's Jones that's moving forward slightly. Santos throws a lead hook. Touches the arm of Jon, that's all. Jon Jones feinting with the jab as he moves forward. Eats an inside low kick, but he's fine. Left straight to the body, missed for Santos. Jon Jones in clear control of this fight. He does a stepping side kick to the chest of Santos. The touch and lead. Oh, left high kick lands for Jones from the southpaw stance. Santos moving real gingerly. Jones just came forward with a firing his left straight, and Santos had to bounce against the fence and really try to get out of there. And as he did, he really shown that his legs are hurt. Outside low kick. Oh, man. Santos landed an outside low kick, and as he reset his feet, he kind of hobbled, and he's definitely compromised here. Brian Humka says, just another day at work for Johnny Bones. Inside low kick lands for Santos. I'm surprised we haven't seen more takedown work attempted for Jon Jones. Huh. Okay, another round for Johnny Bones. Santos' corner is telling him to relax. We made it to the last round. Okay, now we're in Jon Jones' corner. Hey, if you liked the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. I don't know how many likes we have so far, but my goal is 600. With your help, we can at least get that 600. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing to the channel. We'll be doing this for every single UFC event. Thank you for subscribing. Fireball559, Donald King, The Funny ×5. I'm sorry, I don't know what the middle one says there. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I apologize. Great Chalapaking, Blumba Tough, and Capital O Entertainment. Thank you all so very much for subscribing. Thank you, Denzel Alvarez. Ready for the 5th and final round of this light heavyweight championship contest. They meet in the center of the octagon. They do not touch gloves. Jon Jones pressing forward in the orthodox stance. Santos in the southpaw stance. Both guys are feinting. Santos is moving his hands around like this. Jon Jones is keeping his out there to touch the lead hand of Santos. Left body kick landed for Santos. Santos ripping with those hooks as he got in tight on Jon and he just unloaded, but none of it lands. Jon Jones is hard to hit. Excuse me. Spinning heel missed for Jones. Stomp to the thigh lands for Jones. I don't like this camera angle. Yes, thank you for switching it. They both try their rear leg kicks to the body at the same time because that's on like the same side. Neither of them landed. Jon reaching his lead hand from the southpaw stance to the lead thigh of Marreta Santos. I think he's going to try to do that thing. He touches it, dips down, and does a spinning back elbow or something. Left high kick under the armpit of Santos from Jones. Santos threw an overhand left over the shoulder of Jones. Didn't land, and as he brought the hand back, he stumbled on his leg again. Thank you so much, Travis Lesky. I appreciate it, my friend. Namaste. Ooh, left straight landed for Santos. A left high kick landed for Santos. Another left straight landed for Santos. And Johnny Bones acknowledges it. He's like, yep, I like it. Left round of the body landed for Santos. Left outside low kick landed for Jon Jones. Jon Jones moving forward. Snapping jab out there landed. Man, Jon Jones has such long limbs. He can just like stick something out there and it'll impede the forward progress of Santos. Ooh, side kick to the body landed for Jon Jones. There was a big one too. I think Santos is a little bit doubled over. Not doubled over, but he's leaning over a little bit more after that. Another stomp to the thigh lands for Jones. Santos came forward with a double jab, went to plant, but his legs are not plantable. Outside low kick lands for Santos. Oh, his left leg is hurt. See, I think Jon could take this fight to the ground and end it at any moment. Stomp to the thigh lands for Jones. Side kick to the thigh. It's easier to say stomp. Thank you so much, Ryan Dorfmeyer. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Namaste. Stomp to the thigh again. Jab lands for Jones from the orthodox stance. Left hook landed for Santos, but not with anything on it. Santos moving forward. He kind of shuffles forward. He can't really do much. Jones is moving forward. Santos moving back and to his left. Santos pauses. Comes forward. Jon grabs his lead hand. Santos goes back again, goes back into his left. So there's like this small little inch, like back up, give, back up, give, back up, give, or like move forward, back up type of thing that they're doing. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, KB Killshot. You're the best. I mean, they're all fantastic, but that's awesome. Thank you so much. Joe Rogan is saying that the referees could be giving, or not the referees, the judges could be giving this round to Santos. Significant strikes in round 5, 16 for Jones, 9 for Santos. The crowd's booing. The crowd's booing right now. I paused for a second. I wasn't talking too much. I was looking at Killshot's donation there, which thanks so much. But while I wasn't talking, there was nothing happening. And Jon is just kind of jogging around the octagon. And now he hugs Santos in the center of the octagon. The last two opponents for Jon Jones have seemed to just be so happy to have made it to the decision with the GOAT, I think. Thanks, S. Reed. Nobody donated $250. I have over 1,000 likes, Rob. Oh my gosh. You guys are kidding. Yeah, 4-1 for Jon Jones. But let's listen to the post-fight interview. Stick around for the post-fight interview. Jon might have some cool stuff to say. Excuse me. Joe Rogan just said doo-doo. He said that Santos might have came in here with a torn ACL. People do it. Thank you for subscribing, Lou Frazier, Lawrence Alad-esh, Lawrence Dallad-esh, Samuel, Royalty, Prashant Raj, Dark Cloud, Julian Fondren, and everybody. Well, thank you so much, Lucky's Cut. Man, thank you so much. Oh, fight statistics. Head strikes, 11 for Jones, 17 for Santos. Body strikes, 15 for Jones, 7 for Santos. Leg strikes, 31-25 in favor of Jon Bones Jones. Thank you. Oh, Dorf, that's just now getting here. All right, Bruce Buffer has the microphone for one final time, says John Anik. I'll take the first drink of this Golden Frau. Thank you so much, Dustin Wilson. Oh my God. One judge has it 48-47 for Santos. Now 48-47 for Jones. And still. Whoa. Whoa. Hey, that's Dustin. I'm super happy with what you sent, man. Thank you again, Travis Lesky. I can't believe that was a split decision. I can't believe that was a split decision. Jon Jones says, oh my goodness, boy was he tough. The crowd is booing Jon Jones hard right now. Joe Rogan says there's no reason to be sorry. That was an excellent fight. Joe Rogan says, was there anything surprising? Jon Jones says, hey, he was just technically more sound than I thought. Jon Jones says, I'm proud of myself, actually. He's been kickboxing way longer than me. Joe Rogan says, why didn't you try to take him down? He said, I felt like I was winning. There's no need to go for a shot. We were playing a very high-level chess match in there, and I think maybe he made me look bad. I got to go back and watch the fight myself, but anytime I kickbox with I win a kickboxing fight with a black belt in Muay Thai, I don't think you can put your head down. Joe Rogan says, how bad do those low kicks affect you? And Jon Jones says, oh, they hurt. Oh, they hurt. He says, Santos did a good job. He exploited a hole in my game, and that's something that won't be there next time. Joe Rogan's asking him who he wants next, pretty much. He didn't ask him who's next. He just says, shout out to my team, my little brother, my Mike Winklejohn, Braden Gibson, blah, blah, blah. He's thanking all of his friends and stuff. Thank you so much, Dean M. I appreciate it. Jon Jones says to his team, I don't know if you guys are proud of me, but I will do better next time, I promise. The champion of the world, ladies and gentlemen, Jon Jones. And that's it for the live broadcast for the UFC. No, wait. Joe Rogan's interviewing Thiago Santos. Let's see what he has to say. Joe Rogan says that was an excellent performance, a very tough fight for you. It seemed like early on in the first round your left leg gave out. Was that a pre-existing injury, or did that happen in the fight? Thank you so much, Dustin Wilson. Thank you so much for subscribing, DeQuantia Ray, Fred Barr, NeoFX215, Nehemia Brumfield, Tranq, Smiley Face, or 3, maybe? Dean M, Steve Castellan, everybody that I missed. I'm so sorry that I missed you subscribing, but I appreciate it so much. Santos is having a long answer in Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese, so I'm just waiting for the translator. He said in the beginning of the first round, something went out in my knee. There's no whining about it. It is what it is. I want to thank everybody. Yada, yada. Thank Jon Jones for accepting the fight. Me. Thank my camp. All right. Pretty much, yeah, thank you for being here, Rob Lyson. Shreyas Bahardwaj. I'm so sorry. Truly am sorry that I'm messing your name up. But everybody that was here for the live play-by-play that I did, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate the thumbs up that you've given me. I'm sorry that I haven't been involved too much in the live chat. There were a lot of people here tonight. I wasn't expecting to have this many people here. I'm straight honest with you. But this card was pretty darn good. And I'm about to take a small break, pick up the guys from the 6th-round post-fight show, and we're going to come back here and recap the action that we watched from the entire card, but specifically, most importantly, from the main card portion of UFC 239, where in the main event, Jon Jones retained his title via split decision over Thiago Marreta Santos. He controlled the range. He controlled the striking for the most part. Amanda the Lioness Nunes knocked out Holly the Preacher's Daughter Holm with a left high kick in the first, or a right high kick in the first round. Funky Ben Askren got knocked out in 5 seconds by a flying knee from Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. Diego Sanchez lost via decision to Michael the Maverick Chiesa, and Luke Rockhold got knocked out in the second round by Jan Blachowicz with a left hook. We will recap all of that in a brief moment on the post-fight show. I've got to regroup, and I'll be over there in just a few moments. Thanks again so much for being here, guys. Once again, please give the video a thumbs up. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed. Follow me on Twitter at FlyingBrianJ if I don't see you on the post-fight show. And until next time, my friends, I really do appreciate you. Got a lot of love in my heart for all of you guys that were here and had positive things to say, and appreciate the content that I bring you. Later. Namaste.